Alright, weapons tier list. You guys know the drill. We looked into the characters, now we're diving into the weapons itself. So we've got 3 new weapons. Amamiya's weapon, and then of course currently right now we've got the 2 summer event weapons of course. We are still waiting on the juicy grilled skewer. That will be the final weapon for the summer exclusiveness of course. Now, I do want to talk about this. Because I'm slightly... Okay, the new exclusive summer event weapons. Now, don't get me wrong. They're cool, they're fun, you know, especially with like the surfboard and whatnot, right? And again, as we've spoken about it before, how it kind of works well with scenarios to where if you're going against, you know, normal monsters, if there's a group of them, of course, that can obviously do you well with your, what was it, which one is it? Is it A3? No, not A3. Oh no, it's the initial passive to help out to do more damage with normal monsters if there are like multiple waves, let's say that. But also more importantly, it truly does help out a lot with the A5 because in regards to you getting your attack up, it requires you to defeat enemies. So if there's grunts to kind of follow from, then that's perfect, leading into the big boss on you having that extra 20% going into it, of course. Outside of that, not the best, because you won't be able to gain the additional buffs, of course. Now, again, the weapon itself is fun. You know, I've said it from the very beginning, you know, it's not a bad weapon. And at the end of the day, more importantly, you get it for free. It's free. You just grind the event. It's given to you for free. So, as you guys can see, I've got it maxed out right now. Am I going to go into dupes? I'm just going to wait it. I'm going to save my resources. We're just going to kind of put a hold onto it because we don't know about the skewer and how that's going to be coming about. Truth be told, looking at this Marlin weapon, it did come across as it should be free, and lo and behold, it is. Obviously, with the skewer, it's more on the damaging side of things. So, yeah, I feel like the skewer should still be a free weapon. That's my personal take. To me personally, it still classes and it comes across, going over the kit, it does honestly for me comes across as a potential free weapon. I would say this is more for free than they should put it into a banner. I don't think this is banner worthy in my personal opinion, so that's why we're just kind of putting a hold onto that. But either way, with this weapon and with the exclusiveness with the summer vibe that they're doing, again, my disappointment is still there, only because realistically, did we need these weapons? To be honest, no. Especially with fire, because we've just got this behemoth of a goddamn weapon, right? And sooner or later, I'll be able to get this to A2. I'm going to try and shoot for A3 if I get lucky with the summons, but either way, regardless, we're making good progression on this badass of a weapon. But with the fire typing, we just got this beautiful weapon. And in terms of water attributes, I mean, the Grimoire is still kicking ass, and the Scally Pistol is providing decent amount of support, and it is somewhat kind of decent for water typing. So like water and fire weapons right now, you know, we're doing okay. We're doing just fine. We've got our weapons. We've got the weapons that are hitting hard. If anything, I mean, we kind of need some... I mean, okay, here's the thing. Wind weapon... I mean, the West Wind is low-key holding it down. If anything, I'm going to say this right now. The last attribute weapon that we are going to be getting is Wind. Because Light is something that I need help with, right? In terms of damage, this is kind of our best bet. In terms of breakage, this is kind of what we resort to. I can't remember the last time I've used a Huntsman. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't even bother getting it to level 1. I just cannot remember the last I've used this weapon. That being said, obviously with Go releasing on the 20th, could we expect a new weapon? I don't know. It's really hard to tell, because obviously, as it states right here, new Hunter, Amamiya, and weapon, should say weapons. Yeah, because they've already given us technically 3 new weapons. Obviously, the third one isn't out yet, but I'm slightly scared because realistically, I was really hoping. And plus, on top of that, what makes it weird is if Baron is going to be weak to a light and there's nothing scheduled for the September update to say that there's not going to be no new weapons, this is going to be awkward because, I mean, I would much rather them drop a new light weapon. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, majority of us are going to be resorting to the longbow to do damage. This is going to be the prime weapon that we're all going to be utilizing if the light attribute is in favor, of course. So yeah, don't get me wrong, like, I like the style, I like the fun, But if we're getting down to business, if we're getting serious about it, by all means, add it in game, do it in a free-to-play manner, which is exactly what they've done. But I feel like they should have given us a new weapon to cater to either wind or light. In my personal opinion, light needs it more. Light, for the love of God, needs something, because I am desperate need for something for light, DPS wise. Could we still get it? Possibly. Yeah, but if the skewer is classing as the last August weapon, then yeah, in October is going to be the next weapon that we get. Unless the developers go back on their word. If the skewer is given out for free, then I'm going to pray to say that a new weapon could very well drop in September. Because I feel like they still have to drop a weapon banner-wise. And I don't think the skewer is worthy to be a banner weapon. So yeah, just had to get that off my chest. And so, yeah, with the fish itself, I mean, yeah. I mean, the only reason why I'm putting it in, well, some people might fight and say put it down in A, but I feel like it's S, only because of the A5. But again, it does require the certain scenario of where there's normal monsters, because if there is no normal monsters, then this weapon just flops in terms of gaining the extra buffs. I mean, it does okayish damage, I will say that, but putting resources into it and whatnot and knowing the requirements on the scenario that you need to be in, I don't feel like most people would want to go that extra mile, especially when we need a new light weapon and that's going to be catered to more. But I'm going to give it to S. I mean, it's not bad, but it requires a certain situation. And at the end of the day, it's a free weapon. So, I mean, regardless, you can get it all the way to A5 if you choose to. If you want to go further more, then that's completely up to you, of course. But yeah, I'll give it the S treatment. I mean, it's not bad. Especially if the enemy is locked and you can just kind of ram them and stay in that spot, then the damage output is actually pretty decent at most. So yeah. Alright, we'll leave that there. I think that's kind of where I'm going to be keeping that. And then we got this little fishy. We got this little fishy for the hunters. Right, how do I go about doing this? Because this isn't bad either. I might just stick it in A actually. Yeah, you know what? A for hunters. Do I have like an S for hunters? No, I don't. Okay, we'll just leave it in A. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. For an overall weapon, it's decent for all at the end of the day, you know, because it's giving you the QTE skill damage increase and the basic skill damage increase. What's the stat? Does it show? Oh, it does show. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, stat-wise, it's the same for every other weapon that's maxed out. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, 10%, 10%, and then of course, if you get it to pluses, then you can gain the extra percentages all around. But again, 10-10 on the basic skill and the QTE universally. That's just fantastic. I mean, I've got certain characters that unfortunately I don't have the weapons for. So to have a weapon just to give me that plus 10% on what matters most, being the QTE as well as the basic skills, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So I'll give it a solid A. I mean, you can't go wrong with the 10-10 each. So yeah, we'll leave it there, of course. Not too shabby. And then we've got Amamiya's weapon, which, I mean, it's clearly designed for her. Obviously, the power gauge, I'm going to stick it right there. Obviously, universally, the character on you choose to add it to will get the power gauge. I don't know how important that will be for the most part. But it's, I mean, again, it does help out on getting the ultimate, so I'll just kind of leave it in the middle on how vital that is. But yeah, there we go. That is everything. Okay, I'm kind of 50-50 on switching these around, only because of the release of Amamiya. I'm going to have to do a separate video to talk about that and why I'm going to actually switch that around. So we'll leave that be, of course. But ladies and gentlemen, I think at most that is where I'm going to leave it in terms of the... Actually, hold on a minute. I'm going to drop you down to... yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, alright, we'll leave it like that. There we go, boom. So, that's pretty much the weapon tier list on where I'm going to be leaving it. But yeah, again, just to reiterate everything, slight disappointment. I love the weapons, they're fun. I'm very thankful and grateful that it is free, and rightfully so. But I do feel like, you know, we kind of do need something for light. I think that's kind of like my biggest one. I'm not really too fussed with wind. I'm content and I'm happy with every other attribute. I just need something for light. That is it. And if we're going to be getting an Arise Festival light, and if Baron is going to be weak to light, and you say there's a new weapon, and if the skewer is also being given out for free through the event, then I am expecting a light weapon, and then that will then give us a gap between September to then a new weapon releasing in October. Yeah, so that's my honest opinion. That's truly how I feel about everything. Happy that it's free, fun weapons, but in reality, did we need them? Nah, not really. Let's be honest. Did we really didn't need them. But hey, they're free, so we can't really complain. We'll take what we can get. So it is what it is. Yeah, same with these two, by the way. But cater to attack. Cater to attack.